Hey there, it's Michael. I've got a bunch of pens, a dry erase board, and plenty of time because of inclement weather. So I'm knocking out a few videos today, and one of them that I wanted to create is based on the 11 body systems. So I'm just going to kind of start from the beginning and talk about a few things. One is going to be MEND, which is move, educate, nourish, and decompress. M.e.n.d. Right. So I believe that these are the four major components that you need to focus on if you want to increase your health and wellness. But more specifically, I want to talk about on the 11 systems of the body and how mending yourself actually has a positive effect on these 11 systems. So let's pick a color. We will pick, I don't know, maybe purple shows up better. So we're going to call this we call it SLIMDUNCER Railroad. So what we have here is skeletal, lymphatic, the lymph system. We have integumentary, which is the skin. We have muscular, digestive. We have urinary. We have neurological. We have cardiovascular. We have endocrine. We have respiratory, lungs, and then we have reproductive, your privates. Okay, so with moving and with mending yourself, it affects every one of these systems. So what I like to do is just kind of go down the list as quickly as possible, which may or may not be quick, I'm not sure. We'll find out at the end of this video when we actually see how long it is. But let's just go down and start here. So skeletal. How does moving affect skeletal? It increases your musculature, and increases your bone density, increases your flexibility, it increases your ability to move, just because once you do something, and hopefully you'll become better at it and stronger at it. So it affects your skeletal system in a good way if you're moving in a healthy way, if you're not overusing it or misusing your skeletal system. Also, you can consider certain aspects of the skeletal system that are usually have problems in health. Back problems, knee problems, hip problems, shoulder problems, carpal tunnel, neck pain, shoulder pain, these types of things are all improved if you move. So really you've got skeletal and muscular are kind of combined there because they work together. You can't work one without working the other. So one consideration is that if you are of a healthy weight and you're not obese, morbidly obese, then you are putting less stress on the skeletal system, which is the joints, tendons, bones, ligaments, those types of things. Also, if you're in if you have a good, strong musculature, then you're actually decreasing the amount of wear and tear on the skeletal system just because the two are functioning better. So it's very important that you nourish yourself, that you take in the proper nourishment, not just the proper calories. You don't want to be on a 2,000 calorie a day diet. What you want to be is on a 2,000 calorie a day diet of nourishing food. You don't want to just eat 2,000 calories of McDonald's French fries. You need food that's going to nourish and that's going to support the skeletal and the muscular systems together, and basically all the systems. So it's very important that you take in the right types of nutrients, not just that you take in a certain amount of calories, not that you take in a certain amount of carbohydrates and fats and proteins. You want to be taking in the right sort of these things. And also you want to be drinking plenty of water in order to allow your body to actually use these nutrients in a functional manner. So then the lymphatic system is similar to the cardiovascular system. These two are actually kind of combined, but the lymphatic system is separate to where it doesn't actually link directly back into your bloodstream. So in order for the lymphatic system to move, it's important that the muscles of your body contract. It's important that you move your body, because if not, then the lymphatic system becomes exceptionally sluggish. Whereas if you move yourself and you walk, jog, run, lift weights, squeeze muscles, then it actually helps your cardiovascular system as well as your lymphatic system as well as your cardiovascular system. So this here is something that a lot of people don't know, and I wasn't even aware of this until after I got into anatomy and physiology and learned about the lymphatic system. You know, I know from as a kid getting sick that the doctor felt your neck and felt here and said, oh, well, he's got swollen lymph nodes. But I didn't understand the fact that if you're not moving yourself, that the lymph in your body is not moving necessarily as it should either. So for this reason, a lot of people, I believe, have chronic poisons and toxins in their body that are not being, they're not getting excreted. They're not getting back into the circulatory system through the route that they would in order to be excreted through the liver and the kidneys and the skin and however else toxins become excreted. It's because they're not moving enough. They're sitting down, they're sitting on their way to work in the car. They're sitting all day long at work. They're sitting in the car on the way home. They get home, they sit at the dinner table, they sit on the couch, and then they go sit at the computer for the rest of the few hours, and they're up till midnight, and they don't get enough sleep because they're on the internet, and then they lay down. So there's very seldom there's enough moving in here to positively support your lymphatic system. You must move your body. Integumentary system, same thing. You have to nourish yourself. You have to, you also have to move. You have to get out into the sun, and you have to have enough sunlight in order to get vitamin D synthesis. But you have to have adequate hydration as well, And then if you're in too much sun, you also must protect that, So you have to have an awareness and educate yourself to know that there are some things that you must protect, and your skin is one of them. You also must observe your skin and any changes, and to know that, hey, this is something that's different than what it has been for the last 15 years, and I need to get this checked out sooner than later, because skin cancer is becoming more and more prevalent, and it's very, very important that you recognize that early. So we have skeletal, we've talked about these things, then we can talk about digestive. Digestive is the same thing. Digestion occurs through musculature within the digestive system in the small colon and the stomach and the large colon, and it moves like this and it pushes the food through. But also there's something that's called peristalsis. But also when you move your body, you are aiding the peristalsis, rather than if you were laying in bed being static and not moving. you would still slowly have peristalsis, but moving increases your digestive mechanism. It aids it in a very positive way. It makes it to where you're going to have more regular bowel movements, and which means that you're going to have the toxins that are residual in the food that's just getting excreted in your stool. It's not going to be sitting in your colon as long. And this is if you're eating high fiber, high nutrition, ample water in order to allow this to happen. So both of these things have to happen. So it's so important that you move and that you nourish yourself. You also have to educate yourself and you have to decompress, but these are more intellectual and these are more active. So basically what we're talking about right now are the more active components, the moving and the nourishing. So urinary system, again, it's just, if you don't drink enough water, you're not going to get the toxins out of your body. Now, I'm not saying that you need to drink 10 gallons of water a day, because if you did that, you would put yourself in a position to where your electrolytes are potentially out of balance. And then also, if you have issues where you may have a water restriction, such as if you have congestive heart failure, or if you have kidney failure or something like that, and you're on a water restriction or a fluid restriction, then don't listen to what I'm saying about drinking ample water. But other than that, this is what you should be drinking, not Coke Zero, Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, Diet Mountain Dew. Those things, no, because those things also wreak havoc on your endocrine system. So just because it's diet doesn't mean that it's a positive thing. What you need to be drinking is water, not fruit juices, not fruit juices from concentrate, not diet drinks, not little sugar packets that are sugar-free that have aspartame in them that you're putting in the water because you can't stand the way water tastes. You know, it doesn't matter. If you don't like the way water tastes, drink it anyway. If if what you value is life and health and happiness and well-being and overall wellness, and you want to live your full lifespan, then these are the things you must do. If you don't value those things, then you're probably watching the wrong video. So urinary, you must drink enough water in order for your body to not be chronically dehydrated, in order for the cardiovascular system to work more smoothly, in order for the endocrine system to work more smoothly, in order for your body to be able to get rid of the poisons through the kidneys. Drink water. Neurological, and there is a component of decompression on neurological. There's also a component on education and what it is that you put in your mind on neurological, but there's a high component of water with that, because water is one of the main building blocks of neurotransmitters and of nerve cells. So if you're not giving your body the nourishment and the hydration that it needs to create these new cells that are millions are created every minute. So you have to nourish yourself in order for this to occur. And then also, just the fact that you're moving is a positive emotional function, and it actually decreases some neurological symptoms that you may have as far as stress and tension and anxiety and worry. So cardiovascular system, we've already talked about that. You want to build the strength of your heart. You want to build your cardiovascular endurance. The cardiovascular system is not just your heart. It's about the blood vessels that supply blood to your brain, to every organ, to every skin cell within your body, from your toes to your head, to the top piece of hair that you can pull off the top of your head. It's important that you nourish. Endocrine system and the cardiovascular system, they go hand in hand. So when your body needs things, it tries to maintain homeostasis, which is basically a balance. And it figures these things out from the neurological system through cues, from parts of your body sending messages to your brain, and from your brain sending messages down to parts of your body. It's an interactive process, afferent and efferent pathways. So you have that, and then you have the endocrine system that is triggered by those neurological processes and by the physical processes that says, hey, you know, it's important right now for me to excrete this hormone. And what this hormone is going to do is it's going to raise my blood pressure because my blood pressure is low. It's going to lower my blood pressure, or it's going to give me adrenaline, extra energy, because something is giving me a heightened level of awareness, and I need to have extra energy and extra focus right now. So what you need is you have to have a strong component here for these three things to actually work together and all function together in order for all of this to work well together. And this is you. Then respiratory, lungs. I made a video on why to quit smoking or why to not quit smoking. And basically the reason that you would not want to quit smoking is if you don't care about living. You know, if you don't care about longevity and living a full lifespan, then continue smoking. If you do, then you should probably watch the video that I have on the reasons to stop smoking and the reasons why it's hard for some people to stop. And then reproductive and neurological go hand in hand. So it's an interactive process. So what you put into your mind and the amount of blood flow that you have and the endocrine response, all of these things affect your reproductive ability and your reproductive process. You know? So there you go. That's all I'm going to talk about this. But this is Slim-Dunce Railroad and how it's affected with the MEND process. All right. Thank you.